What's up, everybody?
You ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
Good luck.
Mortal Kombat!
Dude, I am pumped. Winner of this takes on Jose Vicente. In final. 18U. Some new faces this year.
Yeah.
On the boy side of things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely got some new faces. Like this guy. He's just checking his microphone. We're so ready. Rock and roll, baby. What do you think, Mike?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I haven't seen Jake play pool before.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be a little. I've only seen Eddie play the last few years, and I'm a big Eddie VONDERAU fan, by the way.
Sure. It's VONDERAU. Like, wow, Eddie plays good. Have you seen Eddie VONDERAU? Wow. That's how you remember it. You're welcome.
We'll go for a run. I'll be back.
This is gentleman we're talking about right now. Solid player. Oh, here we go. Ed just checking in on his notes. There he is.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning back in with us here at the Billiards Education Foundation National Championships. We're coming to you live from Quincy, Illinois, at the Oakley Lindsay Center for the third consecutive year, and what gracious hosts they've been at this wonderful venue. Without further ado, we're going to bring you our first semifinal match. First up, coming to us from Medina, New York. He is sponsored by Adam Japan and Midwest Carbon Technologies. Our fourth place finisher in the Junior 8-Ball Nationals in previous years, it's Jake the Snake Jackson. And his opponent, coming to us from Blacksburg, Virginia, sponsored by Wolfsten, Jam Up, and a four-time VNEA Junior National Champion. They call him Steady Eddie, Eddie VONDERAU. Gentlemen, you may approach the table to lag for first break. The referee presiding over this match, Mr. Madison Ortiz, and our two usual suspects in the commentary box, Mr. Collins Newey of Post Up and Molina Mike from Windows Open. Take it away, gentlemen.
Well, I wish Mike was here. He just loves finding a way to disappear on me, though. That's okay. I'll have all the fun myself. Interested to see how Jake Jackson plays here in this semifinal versus a player that, like Mike and I have mentioned already, we've seen Eddie play quite a bit over the last few years. And he's been a very solid player that whole time. Constantly kind of flirting with that 700 Fargo range, just a hair under. He's a run-out player. He's a smart player. Yeah, curious to see how Jake Jackson holds up under the pressure of the moment, because neither of us have seen him hit a ball. So this will be a treat for everyone. We got Jake Jackson breaking first. Oh, nice pop. Good cue ball. 14 ball barely hangs up.
Look at the control with that cue ball, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
9 ball tied up with the 3. Other than that, everything's really open. 5 and 1 are close together in the top right quarter of the table, but the 5 plays cleanly, so if you take solids, it is workable, but looks like Eddie's going to immediately attack the 9 ball. Nice little nudge there.
Does he go on the side?
Whoops. I don't think so. Boys over at the other comm box are actually talking about a snack that sounds really good. I'm going to go grab one. I'll be back in about 2 minutes.
He's going after some breakfast tater tots. We're going to be here sweating the semifinals. The 18 and under boys 8-ball national championship presented by Lucasi Hughes. A miss by Eddie. He's got some insurance, though, with that 6-ball. Take the first look over here at Jake after a monster break. He's over here sizing up the right side of the table. Wonder if he's going to go after this 6-ball right here from the 3. He's doing some laps around the table. I kind of like going after it if I can, only because if something gets a little funny, you have the 2-ball that you can play in the upper right. Unless he's got a different plan in mind. Looks like he does, given the way he was cueing the ball. He'll take on this 4-ball next. And get that 5-ball out of the way following that. Over on the BCA channel, you guys can check out the Oscar Dominguez and Justin Bergman match. That one's starting in about 5-10 minutes. So make sure and go sweat that one as well. Huge match to qualify for stage 2. This is a huge match as well to qualify for the finals.
What are you gesturing at me like that for? Heavy. Dense. I know what you're going to say.
What's that?
It's like white people food. For you. You say that all the time.
No,
About potatoes?
That is not what I was going to say at all.
He's Mr. Carnitas and carne asada.
I'm going to take some salsa and put it on those things, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. The face you made to me.
Well, The only chance I can see of getting at the 6 is if you cross the 7 ball right here. You can take that line going in there. Maybe you'll miss the 11, but otherwise, I'm not so sure what he's got in mind here. Look at this power shot. You can tell from the lack of action there just how full of a hit that it was. Eddie isn't the guy that I want to leave with 6 open balls on the table. I don't want to dare him to run out here. This is, wow. One problem followed by another there for Mr. Jackson. Ball in hand for Eddie. Where'd you get those logos?
What's that?
Everything in the open here for Eddie. Who won this event last year? Do we know? For the boys? Was it Adrian?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Adrian won every tournament he played in last year. Let me get that answer for you.
Yeah, do something, will you? Surprised he didn't go forward there, but he's got a potting angle here. He's going to the extension.
Last year, Adrian won the 18 and under boys 10 ball, the 22 and under men's 8 ball, the 22 and under men's 14 and 1, oh, he didn't run deep in the hay ball. Ooh, kiss off the 6 ball, puts him on the 50-yard line.
I think it's good. I mean, I think you can float this ball over 2 rails towards where he's at right now on the table with the cue ball. Play a little bit of a 2-way shot.
Mm-hmm.
He's calling the bank. He must like it, but where's your cue ball going to finish in case you miss is a question here for me. He still got the finish right where he needed to. But big shot here for Jake. Ooh, that's actually, yeah.
A lot more manageable.
For sure, yeah. Good thing if you're Jake. 8 ball hanging in the side pocket. All you got to do is just make the ball here.
Jake Jackson with first blood.
There it is. Everyone's getting a seat there for that big matchup. Are they live for the Bergman Oscar match on Facebook and YouTube, or just YouTube?
I think just YouTube.
They're doing the player introductions out there. We're off and rolling over here already.
Captain! Iceberg ahead! I know there's a camera right there. Looks like Oscar won the lag, huh?
All right, they're off and running over there. Just shared it on Windows Open. You guys can check out the stream for that matchup. We're covering junior pool over here. Some young monsters in their own right. I think, at least Eddie I know played in the men's division. I'm not sure about Jake. Made the three. Look at the control.
Look at that cue ball.
By far the best 8-ball break that I've seen from anyone in this tournament.
This week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not in this tournament, like all week, like you said.
All week, yeah.
Yeah. Real fortunate not to get any kind of kisses. Everything's pretty out in the open here. What
Needs to
bombs
play
are-
down to the right side of these two balls. He's attacking right now. Not perfectly ideal because you play the 4 ball, the 6 is going to drift to the short rail. Play the 6 ball, it's a lot thinner. Maybe you play this with enough speed for the 6 to come back up. I'm not sure what you come up with afterwards on the cue ball. Maybe you glance off to the right side of it and play the 6 right away. Ooh,
I might
look
try
at
to
this.
draw out of it.
Ooh. Yeah, this is always the difficult part of that type of collision.
Yeah.
You still got an open shot on the 2 ball up table. It's just going to be a little bit tougher to manage the cue ball from this spot. And the good news is the 6 ball is nice and close to the corner.
He's got to look at the 7 ball here also, so he's got some options. But
Can he cue cleanly on the 7 ball? Like 6 doesn't encroach at all, huh?
I think he's good. Yeah, if he wants to go that route. I'll be honest with you. I kind of like taking on that shot because then you're
2 better. Because the cue ball, you play a stop shot or a cinch shot off the 2, and it slides in a direction where the 6 ball should stay in play no matter what. And you can use that as a recovery, like a position recovery shot to get on the 7 and use the 7 as your cue ball to play the 8. Where if you take the 7 away right now, it's really important to have a good shot on the 2 afterwards because you'd have to use the 6 to use as your key ball.
Yep, this is the big shot here. Rack number 2.
That's great.
Eddie put it down.
That is great. You can tell the relief in his body language. He's very glad he made that ball, hit it really well.
Taking a look to see if it plays in the bottom left, but even if it doesn't, he's fine. Yeah, he can just go forward on the 6 and play it in the side.
Oh, the 7 was what he was looking at.
Yeah.
I thought he was looking at the 8 in the bottom left. Look at this. That makes the 8 a lot easier. These last two shots.
He defeated Jordan Whittakin to get here by a score of 5-3. Jake Jackson defeated Ezra Seymour 5-1 in their quarterfinal matchup. I like them going to single elimination stage. Keep the heat on them. Keep it more proper. There you go. Fast Eddie. Oh, yeah. We'll be keeping an eye on that other matchup as well. Like you guys, we're just a bunch of pool fans over here, so
We'll definitely be sweating the scoreboard over there for sure. That is likely to be slated as the highest quality matchup.
Well, we
Out
were
here.
starting day one. I think it was like the following day, and so they're pretty far along in that initial tournament, the 9-ball for the U.S. National Championships, and then forgot who it was, whether it was the head ref or maybe Shane Tyree that came in and was like, "Well, we got a new
We filled the bracket first of all.
yeah, for the
That's what he
10-ball,"
said.
and it was like, "Okay, congratulations."
He says, you know who the last player? Guess who the last player was?
And we were just, oh, by the way, Justin Bergman. So,
Yeah.
and I think out of all the players, no disrespect to anyone else, but that Oscar matchup against Justin was a matchup that I wanted to see, and I think a lot of fans wanted to see,
Yeah.
considering the playing field. And plus, those two have a ton of history, gambling with one another years ago, and so just a lot of different storylines there to pull from.
Yeah, they know each other really well.
All right, Jake with another big break, but man, he's got some congestion here, Collins. No matter which road that he takes.
The cue ball was like a foot to the left. He could play the 3 into the 12 and call stripes and break out the 9 and 13, but oh, maybe he can. Looks like he's shooting that shot. No, he was trying to use those balls as a combo on the 12. Yeah, that didn't look like it was a wired combo, and now he's dealt with one of the problems for stripes, and Eddie has the freedom to take that grouping if he wants. Slide up into the 11 right now.
I don't think he can get there with the 4-ball. No.
Maybe this is too thin. Yeah, he's jacking up. Yeah.
Oh, he's got some options, and he's got a full cue ball to work with, which is great.
Yeah, roll the 13 in the top right maybe, and then play the 14 or 15 to break out the 11.
I think if you roll that ball forward and you run into the 4, you're going to leave that cue ball right on the cushion.
He's going now. Back cutting the 15 at the top right.
He's drawing into the 11 ball right here.
Yeah.
I like it. Smart shot from Eddie.
Trying to use the 14 as insurance.
Starting off with some great execution. I want to say that's the same cue that I've seen Eddie play with since we first saw him. A little sneaky Pete style with the carbon shaft. Not sure who his sponsors are, but I like his choice.
Ooh, little body English says, please move out of there. Now it's go time. You must get out when you commit to making this ball. You have to finish the deed, or Jake is sitting in the wings looking to clean him up.
Oh, he's smelling blood for sure. And Jake came to play.
You must get there.
He got there, Collins.
Ooh.
Oh.
Why not?
You couldn't put a better Viet ball in hand on the 14. Looking to see if he can play it off the 5.
Yeah, I think so. I think you play that ball off the 5 so you can get a nice angle to move out to the 9.
They are playing all ball fouls. I'm
Not
not sure
even
your
close.
shirt doesn't touch anything. We got on the 9 ball here.
Nice.
If he can get out to center table again, he'll use the 11 as the ball to set up for the 8. But yeah, look, I like where he pointed there. See if he can get there with the cue ball, following this 9.
pretty good spot. Pardon me. That you got to stroke this ball cleanly, and you must fade any skids. Don't want this ball to skid. Nice high ball.
Oh, how did you hit that, Eddie VONDERAU?
Pretty good.
He's a little animated this year, huh?
Mm-hmm.
For a 2-1 lead, racing to 5. Oh my
my
goodness, what a huge miss by Eddie. He knew right away too. Tell you what, I did not expect him to miss that 8-ball, Collins. See how he responds once we get a look at him back at the table. Jake Jackson.
He's got a little bit of that up and down stroke. Like kind of seesaw stroke.
You can tell he's had some training. I like that delivery, like nice soft touch. Oh, was that a miscue?
That was a miscue.
Well,
good thing you got a hold of center ball there.
He shook it off pretty well. It's when you know you're running good, you know.
Oh yeah.
When you miss, I forgot who it was. Maybe it was Savannah the first day. She was on TV table, and as soon as I walk out there when she's practicing, she miscues and still just drilled the ball. It's like,
yeah,
this is how it's gonna go, huh? Just
it's that kind of game, huh?
Just on automatic, huh?
That's how it's gonna be, huh? Hey, Mike.
He's a little more flat here than what he was hoping for. Think he can punch out.
Hey, Mike. You need anything?
You
talk to me.
You talk to me, huh?
You talk to me, huh?
Go on. He's got a hold here, Collins. You don't want it to come off too hot off that second rail. There's the first one. There's the second one. And just gets perfect into position. Great recovery. Great shot selection. Great pattern play. Jake Jackson up 2-1 now over Eddie. Nicely done there. Let me know in the chat who you guys are rooting for. Who you think's gonna win? 2-1. Looks like it's 1-0 over there. Bergman and Dominguez.
Bergman at the table. She's breaking them good, huh?
Tell you what, if he's hitting them that square, look out for him in the 10-ball division as well. Because
look at this layout.
Look, I mean, this is just
This is
Great. No wonder why he's in the semifinals right now, man, with the break
Yeah.
like that. And we know what he can do after the break as well. You know, really sharp kid. He'll shake off that last miss on the 8.
Eddie's moving quickly. Grabbing his extension. Tucking in his shirt so he doesn't touch the 8 ball. I mean, Mike. If you don't get out from here, I'm flabbergasted. And Eddie's a much better player than you are. This is looking real nice.
You can't afford another mistake like in the last rack from Eddie. Hit that ball with purpose.
Yeah, he's perfect here to finish things up.
You just want to make sure and get good shape on the 5 to transition over for the 8 ball here. That's what he's looking at.
Extension granted.
I'm not
I
so
don't-
sure
oh, he
about
got
this
there.
angle, Collins.
Oh, no, it's fine. Look. He can cheat the pocket just a hair. So the cue ball follows to this point on the rail. Or this point. Anywhere between there.
He's got
Should,
it.
should be able to fall on the 8 nice. Just a little bit further to the right. So he's going to come across the shot line real close to the 8.
This is trouble.
And he came up short. Ooh, boy.
You're gonna have to do a twist back bank here and
Yeah,
the
and
upper
you
right.
gotta make it.
I mean, look at
I know.
everything's hanging in the hole.
Yeah.
8 ball. Straight back.
Everything's in the open. 15 and 14 center table. 11 ball maybe. His saving grace on the left side.
This is no good reaching like this.
Eddie does not like using the bridge, evidently. I think you got to get the bridge here, no?
Oh, yeah.
Bridge.
You're not gonna grow a few extra inches while you're trying to stretch out for that shot.
The good news is it's off the cushion. I think you can twist this back. He fired it like,
With no
like
no setup.
I'm curious to know what the
Shot clock
where
was?
the shot clock was at that point, because
Yeah.
the way that he just stroked that after getting the bridge, I don't think I've ever seen Eddie
No.
shoot that fast.
Me either.
before.
It's like Jake is gonna have to develop this ball, and this is the way to do it.
Got a huge roll though, did Eddie, after
Well-
missing, locking up the 11.
Yeah. With ball in hand, this is no problem. This is no problem because you got the 13 sitting in the hole on the other side of the table. If you didn't come up with a shot here.
13 ball. Corner pot.
That's interesting.
That's okay though. It's manageable, even
Yeah.
though he's on the wrong side. I mean, you still got to get back over there, but once you do get back there, he's okay. And if you don't like it,
It's tempting to kick at it right now.
no. I would chip the 4. I would chip the 12 and then send the cue ball on the left side of the table. You know, you might leave a bank. I mean, not you might. You'll leave a bank for the 8, but wow, this is real aggressive. That is disaster.
That's what would happen with me versus you for sure.
No. You would kick the ball in and then like hook me with the point or something ridiculous, you know? That's how you roll. You run like a mix between like Tony Chohan and
Efren Reyes.
and then act like you can bank like Evan Lundberg. Yeah. When in fact you might be the worst bank player in the room. Look at that. He's thinking about it, Collins. He's just sitting there and thinking about that kick. Ball in hand for Eddie. He just hit it underneath that combination, and that's the reason why the ball ended up continuing to go towards the hole there.
The reason that he played off the second rail first was because he was hoping to drift in like up table to maintain a shot on the other ball, like the first ball. Do you get what I'm saying? Out of the 2 balls there?
Wait. I'll start listening. What was that?
Yeah, 2 balls here. Wired at the hole. He played it off the second cushion,
Right.
hoping to drift up this way because this
Right.
ball was going to drift this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then also he would have had options up table with the ball that was here.
And the ball on the left.
But he happened to get
Underneath it.
underneath it and tickied straight into the hole.
Yeah.
That's almost certainly what would have happened if you shot that shot against me.
That I would have scratched?
Yep. Guaranteed.
No, I'm oh man. Boy.
And
When it
and the table.
wow, the wheels just I don't even know. I can't even say they came off because he's not playing bad. He's just
2 shots.
getting unlucky.
2 shots.
You know, he's been breaking the balls from like
at the break,
unbelievably
yeah.
good. Yeah,
Wouldn't you be taking stripes here? 9 ball goes. That's interesting to take the solids when the 4 and 5 are there and only one of them has a pocket.
now he must play ball in hand in the kitchen.
Wouldn't you start with the 12 in the side and play the 9 immediately?
I would, yeah. Or you can also just draw back down for the 15-13 if you were taking stripes. But
Sure.
he made the choice. He's got an angle on the 4 ball now if he wants to go after it. Surely he's not playing for the combination here. I'm not in love with the angle here on the combination.
Me either.
Pocket.
That 9 ball must not go. I don't know. It looks like it's playable.
Tell you what, I roll forward here with the cue ball just in case I miss. I think you'll keep him off the 10, keep him off the 11, keep him off the 9. Oh, never mind. The 9 might go in the upper right.
That ball's going to fall.
That's going to work, Collins.
Yeah. And now he's got the 1 and the 7 to recover position twice if needed.
It's so gross to have that kick scratch and then the very next shot you take have a break where you break like
scratches and
King
leaves-
Kong and then
yeah.
you scratch again
Leaves the world for your opponent.
in a race to 5.
Yep. You were looking at going up 3-1, and the next time you come to the table, you're going to be down 3-2.
Yeah. Nice
This is a
delivery there
scratch,
from
no?
Fast Eddie. No, I think he's good.
Oh yeah, he says, "Come on, baby, come on." That's what he said. Did you see that?
I like that, man. Showing some personality.
Yeah. I dare you to scratch.
Pool needs more of that. I forgot what year was our first year that we saw him. I don't think it was here in Quincy.
It was in South Point.
I think it was
at the
in South Point, yeah. And I just remember there was a few kids. Obviously, like I had never seen any of these kids play, any of them.
He was one of them. He was 13 or 14 at the time. And he played great.
Yeah, but that's whenever we still had like Joey Tate and Landon and Brent, and I mean there was a lot of talent in that room, you know. And Eddie being so young, he was the one to me that just popped out, and really was because of his fundamentals and his cue action. You know, that delivery that he had was just so consistent and so pure.
Yeah.
And I like his decision making.
You got to play the gap here between the 8 and the 14, and you got to play the speed as if you're going to float to the middle of the table. If you do anything else, you risk running behind the 14 or behind the 9.
Well, he was on the 5 earlier. Is he going to get on the 5 ball again? He needs some love, and he got some from the 8.
Drama.
Gonna have to dice this one in. Do you know if Eddie's read your book on thin cuts?
This isn't that thin.
Gotta go back and forth. Don't want to chip the 8 here. It's not that thin, huh?
No.
Wow.
See ball, make ball.
Just gotta channel the Jasmine here.
I'm banking this ball. He's cutting it?
Where are you banking the ball? On the bottom left?
Yeah. Try to take over the pocket.
That aspect of it I would seriously consider. It's a good point.
And I'm pretty sure it goes.
He's calling this ball on the side, Colin.
I know this
is tough angle.
like as tough as it gets as far as blind cuts. Especially the fact that it's the 8 ball, right? There's no identifying points on the ball, and it's very difficult to see the curvature of the ball on the side that is away from the light, like the shadow side of the light, as it's sitting right now.
I've watched a lot of pool, and I don't think I've ever heard anyone say the shadow side.
You know what I'm talking
Of the
about.
ball.
I'm making up a little verbiage here, but that's
Oh,
the
I like
shadowy side of the ball right there. That ball's thick a lot. A lot.
Well, if he goes on to lose this match, he's going to have a hard time sleeping at night, knowing the games that he left on the table going 5.
This is probably the third or fourth time that Jake has come to the table with only his grouping on the table.
It kind of reminds me of, which match was it? Was it the beginning of which match was it, Colin, yesterday? Where it was like the first 3 games were the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the Sophia, right? Yeah.
Savannah Sophia the first time.
Yeah.
They played twice, right?
No,
No.
I played once, but it was still the first time. Oh, wow. Does the 8 go?
I think so. Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Surely.
It was the last game where Jake gave up ball in hand after a kick scratch. He followed that up with a scratch on the break. And a huge miss in the upper right by Jake Jackson. You got to be feeling for him here.
Yeah.
Bull gods are not going his way, that's for sure. Might be time for a break, Collins.
Maybe, yeah.
And I think that's such a huge part of being able to regroup and kind of get yourself back in it, and splash a little water on your face, a la, Minnesota Fats,
Mm-hmm.
And we saw how much the momentum shifted yesterday when Sophia was down 3-0 to Savannah. Took a break, and I think she won the next 4 games from there. So. And I'll be honest with you, I like Jake's game.
Yeah, me too.
You got to love his break. I mean, both these young men have breaking the ball
Pounding the
phenomenal.
break, yeah.
Couple of unfortunate things. Winner of this goes on to play Jose Vicente in the finals. Looked like Peyton Bernard was going to take that one, but wild comeback there from Jose after cue ball all over the place at times in that match. Kelly says, are they allowed to talk to anyone they want on break? I don't believe there's any coaching allowed.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to.
So,
You know, waving at someone in the hall and stopping by saying, "ODI, I'm in a match right now," is one thing. But walking out and then talking to someone about, like, I can't believe what happened there. What do you think I should have done? That's out of line.
well, I think, you'll see it in tennis kind of comes to mind, right? Where like you'll have, if you watch tennis, you know what I'm talking about, where you'll have like the coaching section and you'll have guys with ways to communicate and talk to their corner while they're on their side or hand gestures, whatever. And I think it's just part of gamesmanship, and coaching is certainly valuable in all sports, and pool included. So kind of ways to maneuver around the rules. I'm not going to necessarily be upset with that person. You still got to go and execute. So,
Oh, yeah.
you can say all the right things and do all the right things. I'm sorry, you can say all the right things and hope for the best, but you still got to go out there and play the game. Selena says 3-1 in favor of Bergman. I think he would have been the betting favorite going into that match, even though Oscar's coming off that 9-ball win. A lot of respect given for Bergman. Hoping to have a good chat with him at some point today.
Oscar just played a nice shot in a really difficult spot on that table and kept Bergman off the 1 ball.
After this, we are going to do the finals of this division, the 18 and under boys 8-ball national championships presented by Lucasi Q's. Bo says, what about if they take their break and time out, and on the way back they ask their coach or parent what they're doing wrong?
That's what we said. I think that's out of line.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's part of the rules. I don't know if I would say it's out of line. Just my opinion. But
What do you mean it's part of the rules?
well, the no coaching part of it.
Right.
I think that goes in line with that no coaching part. But I don't like personally. My opinion is if they're going to the restroom, they're coming back, and something is said in terms of their game from whoever.
Oh,
There's no way to like police that.
Right, obviously. But
or if someone's in the restroom,
I'm
they're
talking
like,
about having a conversation about. Yeah, right back at you. I'm talking about like, having a conversation with, the player goes to someone and says, oh my God, I was just in this really tough spot. What should I have done if that comes up again?
Yeah.
That's against the rules.
Yeah, listen, I've known you now for how many years?
At least a year and a half.
Okay. It's at least double that.
Really? Time
Actually.
flies, man.
It's been like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, wow. Can't believe it.
Man, you're old, dude. I was 31 now. You look the same. Actually, you look worse. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I got to shave.
But I don't even know where I was going. I blanked out. That's the end of my thought right there.
Yeah.
You just look terrible. Yeah.
I'm a stickler for rules, I think.
He is.
Where you're
That's
going.
what I was gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a stickler for rules. So. And you know me. That's just part of your personality. And I'm like the line stepper of the group. You know what I mean? And just tiptoeing the line.
Yeah.
Tell you what, this is the rack you want here, Collins. Although I'm not sure where the 8's going to be playable or if it is playable currently, but he's solid here as Jake. And I don't want to say like from a game standpoint that it's a must win, right? I mean, obviously you want to keep your opponent off the hill, but just for like, just for my mental health.
Exactly.
I want him. Like, I have to have this game,
That's how I feel sometimes. It's just like, can I just play pool, Like, when things aren't rolling your way and you're scratching and stuff. I just want to play pool, man.
Welcome you to reality here, okay? Because there's certain points where you, Collins Newey, literally get so lucky and you get all the rolls and then you hit a ball terribly, and it's like you want to talk about a guy who doesn't take ownership of anything. It's like, oh wow, I can't believe. Did you see how bad that ball rolled off? It's like, okay, all right. I mean, the guy can just he walks on water over here when he plays pool.
I float above the water,
That's
baby.
it, yeah. Gracefully in the clouds.
Eek. Gotta come with a big shot
Well-
here. I can understand why he hit it that way, trying to avoid all the traffic here at the bottom of the table, but this is a big spot.
He's playing with fire here
Yeah.
with Eddie just kind of waiting, and now Eddie's just praying he gets an opportunity here.
He's eyeing up this spot that he wants to get to on the 5 ball, but the task at hand is this massive 2 ball.
Yeah.
I would be much less worried about where the cue ball goes on this shot and much more worried about just make the ball and don't go up behind the 14.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
It looks like it wants to go there, right?
Yeah.
He hit it thick, trying to hold it.
I
trying to
think
hold the
so.
angle,
and,
yeah.
and that's kind of what I was alluding to with the whole,
Right.
you know, kind of obsessing over where the cue ball goes on such a difficult ball to pocket.
He's got a real good safety here if he wants to take it. And I'm not sure if he will, but he can get the 11 ball and put him right on the 8 here. It looks like the 14 passes the 2 ball though, Collins.
Yeah, I think the 14, 15
Both?
pass. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. At your service.
Okay. It's kind of the other way around in terms of Eddie giving Jake a look, you know, late game in the first few racks. So this has kind of shifted a little bit the other way.
By the way, we're going right into the final after this at 12:30 is when it was originally scheduled. So I will likely do a stream reboot to get the appropriate title on there and the appropriate thumbnail. So we will quickly make that move after this match is over.
Oh, he's got the 10. Okay.
Love this angle. Love this
yeah.
angle.
Yeah.
It like wants to hit the left side of the 9, the cue ball. And if you do hit half of the 9 on the left side, you'll be able to shoot it in the bottom right because the cue ball should
I'll tell you what, I mean, you're
move
putting
out to the left.
you're putting your chips all in here in this shot.
Oh, it
So
wants
you-
to.
you-
It wants to turn out
You,
good.
you better be able to
Actually, it's good to
execute
also
here.
go into the 8 here. It's not bad to go into the 8.
Yeah,
here.
personally I like going into the 8 myself, but
This
Oh.
yeah, there's so many ways
yeah.
that could turn out good. That was just a great angle that he had on that ball.
you see that big sigh of relief there
Oh,
from
yeah.
Eddie after
Yeah.
that shot.
Real nice.
Felt like the game winner. Looks like the game winner. You still got 2 more here.
This is the game winner right here. This shot on the 9, it's still a little nervy. This pocket's a little bit smaller because of the angle that you're coming from.
He's gonna be drawn into this.
Yeah, just hit it in a nice cinch shot
yeah,
to the
yeah,
other
yeah.
side of the
Agreed.
8 and,
Right.
and play the 8 in the,
Right.
you don't have to pound this one in and get back to center table.
No. Don't
Hit
try
it.
to get too cute.
Yeah,
Just,
hit the spot, hit the speed where the pocket's big. Yeah.
Just get over to the right side. Get good. On the rails okay here with
Oh,
this
yeah.
with this angle he's got on the 8. All the hard work is done.
Yeah.
Eddie VONDERAU looking to go up 4-2 after trailing this match 2-0. And that 8 ball is going to be
Just in the pocket.
oh,
A
down.
little on the thick
Okay.
side, but it does fall. There's that towel again. Keeping that cue ball nice and clean. America. Looks like Jake stepped away from the table, understandably, as his opponent just made it to the hill. As we glance down the aisle there at a few matches going on out on the floor. The Grinder. Just got a little player break here, guys. I'm going to mute the mic for a second. And we're back.
Match number 7.
Kind of obvious to say, but it's a must-win here when you're down 4-2. And in my opinion, like I mentioned before, I think he's playing pretty well as Jake.
I'm going to pull a U right now and say...
Ooh, that ball was going to go.
Yeah,
too,
it was going right in the corner.
That's probably his worst break of the match.
I'm going to take your line here and say, you mean to tell me that when your opponent is on the hill, that this game is a must-win game?
Yeah.
If you don't want to lose the match?
In my Newey voice.
What was that? The
Yeah.
Nuggets of knowledge?
I like the guy who's going to make the last 8 ball here in this one. How did I do in the impersonation? Was it good?
No, I don't have a southern accent.
No. Look at this. He got on the 6. He opened up the 4. The way that just opened up
I don't think
for...
he knows he's on the 6.
I'd go after the 6 right now.
No, I know, but I don't think he knows he's on the 6.
Yeah.
Walk around the table. There we go.
That's the one. That's the one we need. That was like the perfect little Evan London nudge there.
Nudge.
Yeah.
A lovely nudge.
He just cues the ball so well, man.
Yeah. What's up, Gabby? The great Gabby in the chat. So nice to see so many familiar names.
Hit the like, hit the share button.
That's right.
Go check out the BEF page.
Live all week.
We got the finals of this division coming up next. That's gonna be a problem, Collins. That's a huge problem.
If the 4-5 combo goes, if the 13 is just enough out of the way, he might be able to get away with this.
Even then, what's next then? Even if you do it.
Well, the 4 is going to pop out.
Yeah, but if the 13 stays there, 13 is going to be a big ball in that situation, potentially. And I don't even think he's got that combination.
No.
And if you're Jake, this is exactly what you needed to happen given the spread. And look at the way that... Can you go back to the other view real quick? I want to see...
You could put the 4 on the other side of the 13, take the pocket away.
Yeah, you just be careful here. You know, the 9 ball is still in a tough spot for Jake. I don't want to press too much. Like, I'm still sitting on a 4-2 lead if I'm Eddie.
You can't think too long, Eddie. You got to play.
Yeah, good point
Where's he
there.
putting his cue ball?
In the 11, maybe? Sure what he was trying to do there.
I'm not sure.
Does a 13 play?
Yeah, 13 goes.
What was he hoping to accomplish here? You know?
No idea. That's why I thought he would play the. I thought he was going to play the 4 ball through this gap into the rail and then put it right here.
Oh, he's sitting at the bottom, but shouldn't you
He's
just
going to go into the 9.
Hold the 9 here? Just hold for the 9, yeah.
Go to the 9.
You got to admire Jake's mental toughness here in this match because he's had some pretty chilly rolls here, and I know a lot of players that can stay overly animated when the balls don't go their way. Unfortunate miss, but it was far from a hanger. Oh, don't say me too. You're the worst, okay? You're literally your top 4 out of everyone I know in my life.
Thanks, man.
Yep. You're number 1 in some other categories too, by the way. Can I get the other view? That's the most you'll see Eddie whip it like that. Kind of snatched it back. It's tough to tell if he can make the 1 on the side. Even if you can, I think you got to just play it at a speed just to go in the hole, and then you got to settle for whatever you get on the 3.
You could come with a big shot on the 3 here and reposition yourself. Play the 1 in the corner. You could go after it now, or you could play for the 4 and then reposition yourself with the 4.
He's having to work a lot here on the shot. In the last 2 shots, this one included, overcut it a little bit. Yeah, this is always.
Oh, he's got to look at the 1.
Wow, look at this. He can make the 1 and then just fall in a window on the 4.
You could either fall in a window on the 4 or try to punch to the right side of the 4. That's a big stroke, but I think you can get there. Well, Federer can get there. Or Shane.
And there's our first Federer reference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not even looking at the 1.
You know who can? Federer
The
can.
Ghost.
Ooh, okay.
We're just making it as tough as possible.
And he's working.
This is tough. Now,
he's punching the clock.
Pocket the ball. You probably go back and forth to the middle of the table if you just pocket the ball.
That's all that I'm trying to do here.
Oh, yeah.
Just get the make. I'll take whatever's on the 8 as long as I'm on the 8.
Let me free roll on the 8, baby.
Yeah.
He went for position. I think he was greedy for position there.
His delivery was not that great on a couple of these shots here in that run. A little bit of emotion there from Fast Eddie. And Jake is now in complete control of this rack.
Yeah, I think that was a lapse in judgment because he tried to play on this side of the side pocket where it's essentially the same thing, if not better.
Look.
It's essentially the same thing, if not better, to just go back and forth up
go
here.
in the side? I was going to say chip off the 9 and come behind the 14. The reason why I don't like playing safe on this side of the table is because funny things can happen. Now, I'm not saying funny things did happen, but I don't even want to put that in play, you know? I don't even want to give him a chance for that to happen. I've been seeing a lot of these junior players take intentionals at spots and A-ball.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere if you're going to come back. We've seen some decent-sized leads get erased here in these tournaments. Jake just has to hold his nerve here. Oh, and it's right on the edge, and Eddie's got a nice bank here. He'll play this cross side. I'm going all make here again. And I think you can control this cue ball pretty well.
Stuff it with just a touch of draw.
Yeah.
Just a touch. He's so straight, he must be able to go to the rail and back out.
Big shot upcoming.
Wow. He's already made one of these in the side pocket. Not on the 8-ball. Sorry to cut you off.
That's right. This 8-ball for a spot in the final. Jose Vicente is waiting. Is Fast Eddie gonna punch his ticket?
That ball could go down. Little mini fist pump there from Eddie.
All right, the final scheduled for 12:30. I'm guessing they're going to give Eddie a little bit of a break here. So,
yeah.
Do you want to restart the stream here in a few minutes?
I am gonna do a restart so we can get a fresh thumbnail,
okay,
fresh title, all that stuff, and we'll be back shortly. So make sure you're subscribed so you can see when we go live, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. On the way out, I'm going to show you a few words from the sponsors of these events out here. Shout out to those guys for making this thing possible.
When I play all the big tournaments around the world, we only use Aramis and Simonis. You know, you're getting 100% high quality. It just makes the game easier to play. Simonis and Aramis definitely have the best cloth and balls, hands down, in the game.
Ready to enjoy pool at a whole new level? At PoolDog.com, we know that playing your best is simply more fun. That's why we offer a huge selection of pool cues from all the top brands backed by our 60-day satisfaction guarantee, including chalked cues. Build your ideal cue with custom options like shaft upgrades, precision tips, and more. You'll feel the difference immediately with a stick that's truly an extension of you. Get the performance you need, risk-free. Find your perfect cue at PoolDog.com.
Command the table with a Miyuchi Q, engineered to give you a power advantage you can feel. Our Ultraflex technology creates a spring-like energy transfer throughout the Q, giving you more power with less effort. The Miyuchi shaft is loaded with low deflection technology from end to end. Unlock your full potential with the Miyuchi Q. It's a difference you can feel, but it's also a difference you can see. Don't settle, because sooner or later, it's gotta be a Miyuchi.